Welcome to the final update for Half-Life 2. We're going to be finding ourselves locked into a lot of happy plot fun times, so I'm mostly just going to be sitting back and letting you, try to enjoy it. So, have fun!
I'll take him from here. Don't struggle, it's no use. Until you're where he wants you, there's nothing you can do. I'm sorry, Gordon.
Carbon stars with ancient satellites colonized by sentient fungi, gas giants, inhabited by vast meteorological intelligences, worlds stretched thin across the membranes where the dimensions intersect. Impossible to describe with our limited vocabulary.
What I've seen is also beyond words, Breen. Genocide. Indescribable evil. Good God.
Well, if it isn't Gordon Freeman at last. What's this? I'll put it over there. You have my gratitude, Doctor. First you lead me straight to the doorstep of my oldest friend, and then you deliver yourself? If I'd known you were going to come straight up to my office, I wouldn't have bothered hunting you in the first place. Having both of you in my keeping ensures I can dictate the terms of any bargain I care to make with the Combine.
Dr. Breen.
Huh.
Wallace.
Yes, Judith, what is it?
The bargain we should be making is for Eli's life so he can continue his research.
Thanks to you, we have everything we need in that regard. You're more than qualified to finish his research yourself. What neither you nor I can do is convince that rabble in the streets to give up their senseless struggle. Yet Eli refuses to speak the words that would save them all.
Save them? For what?
Eli, if you won't do the right thing for the good of all people, maybe you'll do it for one of them.
Alex, honey.
Dad. Gordon?
God damn you, Breen, you let her go.
That's all up to you, my old friend. Will you let your stubborn short-sightedness doom the entire species, or will you give your child the chance her mother never had?
How dare you even mention her?
Alex, my dear, you have your mother's eyes, but your father's stubborn nature.
You haven't seen a bit of it yet.
Really? Well, let's see how well it serves you on the far side of a Combine portal.
Go ahead, Breen. If that's the worst you can do, send us both through your portal.
Oh, it's hardly the worst. But you might find that hard to believe once you get there.
It isn't necessary.
I agree. It's a total waste. Fortunately, the Resistance has shown it is willing to accept a new leader. And this one has proven to be a fine pawn for those who control him.
No!
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
How about it, Dr. Freeman? Did you realize your contract was open to the highest bidder?
Gordon would never make any kind of deal with you.
I understand if you don't wish to discuss this in front of your friends. I'll send them on their way, and then we can talk openly.
Don't struggle, honey.
Dad, I'm so sorry.
Alex, sweetheart.
Judith, what do you think you're doing?
We're doing what I could never do alone. We're stopping you.
Yes.
Guards, get in here! They know you betrayed them. They'll turn on you. Judith, Dr. Mossman, please!
I'm sorry, Wallace. You're all out of time. Don't.
Hurry! Dad, hang on.
You fool!
Watch out, he's gonna...
No!
Well, that's a whole lot of stuff that happened. Unfortunately, the game's not going to give me a lot of time to kind of break down everything, so maybe we'll just let it be at that, and we'll have a time to pour over it when we go to episode 1. Let's just continue.
Dad!
No. Don't worry about me, honey.
There's no time, Alex. He's on his way to the portal. You'll need this.
Dr. Mossman, Judith, look after my father.
Don't you worry.
Dad, I'm not saying goodbye.
Never.
Come on, Gordon. Let's go.
My girl.
Gordon, we haven't known each other very long, but I know you didn't have to do this. I had to rescue my father, but you... Well, thanks for coming after me.
It's me you should be concerned.
Hey, listen.
I can still deliver.
That's
Earth,
him.
but not without your help. The portal destination is untenable. Surely you can set the relay elsewhere. There's no way I can survive in that environment. A host body, you must be joking. I can't
There
possibly...
he is.
Oh, all right. Damn it, if that's what it takes. Just hurry. He's right behind me. Oh, shit.
Damn it, not again! The gravity gun. He doesn't have a clue, does he? I wonder where he's going. Oh my god. This is the Citadel's Dark Fusion Reactor. It powers their tunneling entanglement device. We'll never have a chance like this again. We've got to stop Dr. Breen. I can't shut it down. Looks like he's turned over control to the other side. You'll have to go into the core and do what you can. Get in the elevator and I'll let you know. Don't forget to charge up your suit. Do your worst, Gordon. But be careful.
Well, careful is not really what I do. In fact, I think that in order to get what we need to do done, we're going to have to be very reckless. Yeah, something's going to go boom by the end of this. Mark my words.
It's Dr. Breen. There he is.
Dr. Freeman, you really shouldn't be out there. At the moment of synapse, as I teleport, this chamber will be bathed in deadly particles that have yet to be named by human science. Perhaps when I have the leisure to do the work myself, I'll name one of them after you. That way you won't be completely forgotten. When the singularity collapses, I will be far away from here, in another universe, as a matter of fact. You, on the other hand, will be destroyed in every way it is possible to be destroyed, and even in some which are essentially impossible.
What the hell? Oh no, Combine soldiers. Where did they come from?
I assume where those guys at the start came from. Like, you know, like we saw that there were soldiers up here. But anyhow, yeah. This final boss fight, if you can call it that, is a race to the top.
I don't know what you can possibly hope to achieve apart from your own annihilation.
Don't listen to him, Gordon.
Basically, we're having to get past this giant obstacle course while being shot at and having to contend with all these different roadblocks. Honestly, I feel like it could have been developed out a lot more. Like, the whole sequence. Yeah, it's meant to be 3 minutes long or so. Like, a bit longer perhaps, but nonetheless, the whole thing feels like you could get this resolved in less than a minute.
Great. Oh no, Breen started his ascent. Hurry, Gordon, before he escapes.
Like, you see how slowly that bubble is moving.
Keep going.
Like, you can absolutely take your time on this.
I could have told you that was pointless, Dr. Freeman.
Go, Gordon!
Insert generic discouragement, insert generic encouragement.
Are you still with us, Dr. Freeman? Not for much longer, I think. If only you had harnessed your boundless energy for a useful
Portal's
purpose.
opening.
Sure is.
Go back, Freeman. You have no idea what you're doing.
I mean, I know exactly what I'm doing,
You said your farewells.
but suppose that, yeah, we didn't do the obvious thing and just fill this portal full of orbs. Like, you know, maybe we just sat around and admired the scenery. Like, oh hey, this environment on the other side of the portal looks like it's got some kind of a almost orange sky kind of going on there with all these spires and such. I really don't know what kind of atmosphere that would be, but I could believe it could be toxic to humans.
Warning. 1 minute. Singularity. Singularity.
So you're probably wondering, of course, what happens if I do run out the clock? And,
Priority warning.
yeah, I hope that you're ready for disappointment.
Priority warning. 10 seconds. Singularity.
No, he's getting away!
Sure is. He is continuing to get away.
A predictable failure, Dr. Freeman.
Yeah, that's right. Like, there is no giant explosion or anything. It's just nothing. You said it, Alex. Anyhow, so the actual fight, if you can call it that, is basically just, yeah, like you have to break through the shield around the portal while being fired at by a couple of gunships. The gunships are, in fact, killable, and it takes about 3 orbs each, but here's the problem, of course. They are fast-moving aerial vehicles versus these, like, slow-moving projectiles. You're honestly better off just spamming attacks to the core itself. And in fact, if you do so, you can clear out this whole fight.
You unleash. You could bring down this whole citadel. Think, man. Think of the people below.
In less than a minute. And there we go. Over and done with.
Yeah! You did it! Come on, Gordon. We've got to get out of here. Maybe we still have...
Time, Dr. Freeman? Is it really that time again? It seems as if you only just arrived. You've done a great deal in a small time span. You've done so well, in fact, that I've received some interesting offers for your services. Ordinarily, I wouldn't contemplate them, but these are extraordinary times. Rather than offer you the illusion of free choice, I will take the liberty of choosing for you, if and when your time comes round again. I do apologize for what must seem to you an arbitrary imposition, Dr. Freeman. I trust it will all make sense to you in the course of... well, I'm really not at liberty to say. In the meantime, this is where I get off.
And that's the end. Kind of a bit of a cliffhanger. Like they were obviously realizing they were going to write a sequel on this one. How would I rate Half-Life 2? Well, I mean, the game still is fairly imaginative. It had a lot of really cool ideas, and its legacy is not to be underestimated. Although, as I said, like with multiple gripes, it's sort of like, a number of things that the game has done really well have been imitated by later games that came after it. And it's sort of like, how to describe? Well, when something creates a trend, then later companies will always try to hitch on to that trend. And as a result, their later efforts end up often being more refined, more stylish, and generally less awkward. Like, I have to admit, the gravity gun is great. It has a lot of applications and definitely a whole lot of various potential for shenanigans, but at the same time, it also has its failings. It feels a little bit awkward in some ways, and later games that would use the idea of picking up and throwing things down the line would just, do it better. Just flat out. Nonetheless, though, as a chapter in gaming history, Half-Life 2 definitely deserves to be honored. I kind of wish that it had a few, alterations done. I feel like at some times the dialogue feels a little bit stilted and lifeless, that you really don't have a lot of ability to do anything interesting during plot sequences, and overall, when it is just plain action, it's great, but if it's story, it's meh. Whatever the case, though, I'll be seeing you very soon in Episode 1. Bye for now.
Lamar? Lamar! Blast that little... Where did she get to?